Hello and welcome to yet another Amazon video. But you know, you're watching this probably because you're interested in it for some strange reason, and I keep making videos about it, but there we are. So update on where I'm up to with the whole thing. The last video you would have watched would have been, I don't know how I'm going to put this together, but there's been a few bits and pieces between. We'll see. I might edit this out, who knows. Anyway, I'll just give you a rundown what I've been up to. I haven't filmed a few bits and pieces I've been up to up here because I've just been trying to get stuff done, and they're frankly not that interesting. Putting a seat in the front of the van, is that interesting to people? Too late, I've already done it, so let me show you. Anyway, this is the door, and that's the old door. Now, I have filmed this on my phone, but I'm going to film it on this camera because it's just better and I can explain more what's going on. Biggest problem with this door is edges, is that. Now, this wing, if you watch my early videos I've got online, only because it was in colour, but it's got issues like this. This, I only found out the other day off this company, came broken, so I need to order more one of them. It's missing the tabs there, and it also looks horrendous. I've got the wing mirror on the passenger side, I'll show you that now. So, and you can also see the shut gap, even though the bonnet is further down than it should be. The gap, the other side I'll show you, the other side is different to this. This door I got in colour, it was cheap, and now I know why. Changing the lock was a nightmare. I had to angle grind the other one off to release the mechanism from inside, allowing that to protrude out, and that's why there's dust all around here. I angle grinded it off because I didn't have the key for the barrel that was in this door. Long story short, so it now opens and closes, nice. However, it doesn't catch on the wing. The other door had a crease, and you can see this one has the same. Can you see there? So I'm gonna have to weld that up at some point down the line to stop that from getting worse. The other door, let me show you why this door I had to change, although it's actually fairly straight, is because of this. You can see how bad that is in there, but that moves, and that's as tight, that is tighter, and I just couldn't get it any tighter. So there's something wrong inside, can't get to it, plus it's got that damage there, and the door was just sitting, the door just like sat down, and you couldn't adjust it up. I'd adjusted it and I just couldn't get it up any further. It was just too far down. So anyway, yeah, this door's fine. Apart from that, I've got the check strap on now, so no longer. But what I think has been happening with these things, as we all know with delivery drivers, they're getting out the van and then just whacking the door open, and that's what's tore it. What I should have done is not buy a door in this colour. I should have just bought a white one or something off a van that hadn't had this much jip. So I've just bent that back basically. That obviously needs attention at a later date. This wing is horrendous. I might even get another one, I don't know. You know, I'm trying to make my life easy with body work. Painting I can do no problem, but the body work takes time, as we all know it. If you've done body work, it just takes time. Anyway, so let's no more talk about doors. The inside, a lot's changed. This is the bulkhead I got out of the van in the scrapyard, the really nice white one in good condition. I got the double seat out of that van. As you can see, it's in fact it's just dust on it from me getting it out, but the seat itself's in really nice condition. It's got a new floor in it because you've looked, the other floor had that bit cut out. I didn't film any, sorry about that. I didn't think I'd need to, or you'd be interested in it. Look, I've not even put these things back in. Look, there's that going there. There you are. See me doing some work to it. There you are. But anyway, needless to say, if you're redoing the floor in one of these, a few things you need to do. You need to take this off, take that bolt out there, release the steering column, it just slides off. That has to come out. The accelerator pedal has to come out. But all you have to do is do that bolt there and the other bolt, which is just there, and then the whole thing comes on and unplug it. That needs to come off. There's a screw there. Same on the other side, but you have to push this up, and there's two Torx 30s up there hiding just behind this, but that will push up. That comes off. Then there's a piece of metal with two bolts on there. That has to come off. And then on the other side, it's just tucked in but held up. But when you take it out, it appears that the original floor goes right up. So I just got a knife and cut it, because you can't see it, it's all behind there. So I got a knife and cut it, but putting the thing back in was horrible, because getting it in there, it gets quite thin, the material there, and I can just feel it just up there. See it's a bit ruffled where I couldn't get it to quite go over the turret. But getting that in there to get everything to sit nice, it's still not 100%, but anyway, this is a lot better than the one that was in here, because it had a big chew mark like someone had eaten it there. And I just want it to look nice. I just want it to look nice. It's worth the hassle, but it's nice. So, but anyway, this one marries up to the double seat, whereas the other one didn't. Unfortunately, I've still got a bit of a gap there for the old Amazon flooring. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. I had to cut a piece out there to put the plate in to hold the seat down, which I had to go back and get because I didn't realise I needed that plate. And I also got this cowling from the one there, because I'm missing this top section. I had the bottom section. You can see this is off, so I'm hoping that this fits on to the this is underneath that chair, because there's sensors on these. The other thing I'm looking at doing, which is why there's no driver's seat in here, is I'm looking at putting a heated element in it, because this doesn't have heated seats. Now I've noticed on some of the controls, and when everyone comment on this, there's heated seat controller here. Now, with this being like one of the top spec models, I'm assuming that under here, one of these somewhere, like maybe that, I don't know, will be like a heated seat connection. On my Mark 7, there's a switch on the front here, and you push it in and out, and on some of the early versions of these, they have switches. This one doesn't, it's got the controls up there. Now, I haven't plugged the computer into this yet, so I'm hoping in the computer it's simply an activation, but I want to see if I can, at some point, I'm not going to waste any time on it today, but I can find out what code is behind this and see if I can get the heated version. There's loads of these online, but they've all got different codes on the back, and if I've learned anything about some of these things, they all mean and do different things. They'll look the same, the vehicle might not recognise it, but what I might do is take a punt and get one off a similar age van than this with the 2 heated seat controls and just see what happens. But I need to have a look at the diagram to find out if I have in fact got the wiring here for a heated seat. This looks like the auxiliary stuff that goes to the back or something, I don't know. There's lots of stuff I found. Yeah, this is definitely been put in afterwards. Some sort of auxiliary outlet. Bit of revision for me, that. I'll have a look around, see what that is. That, I don't know where that came from. That was just chilling out at the back. Anyway, yeah, it takes 2 batteries, this van, for some reason. But it seems that all the vans with extra gadgets have 2 batteries. Even my Mark 7 has 2 batteries in it. Weird. At the moment, it's just got a leisure battery and just to muck about with the van. So that's where I'm at with the inside. I need to go back to scrapyard and get in one of these, because I broke the tab trying to get it off. Yeah, I wrecked it. But anyway, the headlining is quite good. Everything's up, solid. Just needs tidying up and just bits and pieces. Like, I need to remove this off here somehow without smashing the screen. This is on, this had the Amazon dash cam thing on it, which I've still got at home, and it's also got the built-in camera, which is for the, I don't know, lane assist cruise control. I don't know, it's something to do with that. So yeah, I'll bring you in the back. We'll have a look in the back quickly. Right, other thing I've had to get is air conditioning pipes. So thankfully, I'll just lay these here. This is a good buy off eBay. The pipe in my van is missing. I have all that bit installed, so I don't need that bit. But this bit I need here, because they're joined together there. It's just this section of pipe I needed, because mine is fine from there all the way down to here, but this bit here has been snapped off. It's gone. So this. People, they're a bit spiteful, these pipes are on eBay second hand. They're about 180, 150 quid for just for that section. Now they got the whole thing off eBay for 50 quid. Yeah, a bargain. Anyway, there we are. So down here we've got the bulkhead. It's actually really good condition, to be fair. I'm quite chuffed for it. I haven't put all the screws in, because I might have to take the seat out. But you say I've now got overhead storage, which is what I wanted. I might see if I can find the cardboard thing that goes there with a shutter, if they even made one for these, I don't know. But I've tried to put this in because we don't need to do anything to that there. This obviously needs pushing out a bit, as you've probably seen in other videos. Yeah, chuff with that. This is the spare passenger seat, which everyone keeps telling me to sell, but I'm not going to sell it. What I'm going to do is, I'll show you in a minute, the cushion on this, I'm 99% sure is identical to the front seat. The front seat one is knackered. It's all worn there, whereas this has probably hardly ever been used, if used at all. So I'm going to take the cushion off that, because I've basically got the cushion off the original one, and I'll show you now. I was just going to take it off to install a heated seat element, which you can buy a kit off eBay for like 20 quid to retrofit, which is what I'm going to do. But let me explain. You have to take the seat cover off to install the element underneath, but it's in my van here, so excuse the mess. I've just got a little equipment in here from a job the weekend. Let me just get this out of the way. This is a wheel arch liner, hopefully. Sorry about that, took me a while to get that out of the way. So this is the seat I've taken out. Wow, that's heavy. That's because it's got brake discs on it. So, oh gosh, bear with me. Just, this is really heavy. Bloody hell. So yeah, we got the seat Minging foam. So they're stapled in, and this is the cover for it. Look. So I took it off. It's all torn at the side here. Look, which is a transit thing. I think it's normal in most vans, and it's worn, just knackered. I mean, I could clean it for a washing machine, but you've got these tabs, which basically offer the cushion up. These are pulled in, and they're stapled in and down each side here in these seams. So you've got a heated pad on here. I've got a feeling this indent here is probably where the factory one would have gone, because it looked like there's a hole there. You turn the cushion around and there's a hole there, so I reckon the wiring went through and that was our heated pad there. But I ain't paying for a heated seat for one of these vans, because if you go online and look at a second-hand one, they are hundreds of pounds. It's the same seat with an element in it. I'm going to retrofit something to that. I mean, I'm lucky that this van here, my old Mark 7, actually has a heated seat in it, because it's the trend model, like limited model. But yeah, the pads all seem to be like one size, so I want to see if I can get one and offer it up and somehow not get these staples to damage it. But I'll work on that. I'll do a video on that, because it might be interesting for other people, because I like a heated seat. But anyway, to get to the point, I'm hoping that this part with that on it from the other van, sorry, from the other seat, is the same. I'm pretty sure it is, because that sits in there, and that is basically what holds that onto the steel base. These clips around the side, these are what clips on. So anyway, yeah, you get a sneak peek at the alloys there. Look, I couldn't resist. And then I did go for Michelin's. One's arrived. I'm waiting for the other one, and I've got another 2 used ones, because they're really expensive. Really expensive. 160 something pound, excluding VAT attire. It's expensive. I just want nice wheels on it, like everyone else. I want it to be a tidy van when I'm done, not like these. They're going. But I'm also need to, again, comment if you know the answer to this. Each wheel has TPMS sensors in it. Do I need to keep the sensors in each wheel labelled for when I put the new ones on? I don't know. I'm going to label them, so when the wheel comes off, the TPMS sensor, if you don't know what that is, it's so all modern cars will have a tyre light that comes on the dash. If one of the tyres goes down, there's a sensor in each wheel on the valve, typically on the inside of the wheel. And I saw it when we had that wheel off. Rich showed me, he says, oh, you got TPMS on it. I'm like, what's that? And then he explained, and I googled it, and I'm like, okay, I understand now. I didn't think it was a thing on vans, but again, it's a good spec van, so it's got all this fancy stuff on it. So right, today I'm going to start on the wet belt. Exciting times. Okay, so this is how far I've got. I'm not going to lie, getting that off is a pain in the ass. There's lots of little, just, you can get your spanner in there, and there's little bolts to hold that cover on, which are kind of, see that there, that bit there, that is right down there. See that little thread there, that's in there. You have to use like weird tools you don't get out your box very often like this to get in there. You know, and the engine's been supported off that, so it's safe. Yeah, so I've just taken a photograph of where the belt goes, because if it's anything like my Mark 7 when I did the belt snap, which was even worse than changing the engine in the van, changing the belts and that thing if it's got air conditioning, because the compressor is under there and there is no room. There's like a centimetre. You can't get any spanners in. There's some sort of Ford tool to undo the tensioner. You have to take the tensioner off down there. You have to do that. You have to take the air conditioning pump off, and when you're working on the driveway, I can tell you it's not fun. Hello, Mr. Robin. Mr. Robin keeps coming. I gave him some bread before, now he won't leave me alone. Yeah, air conditioning belt on a Mark 7. If you've got air conditioning, don't, just leave it, wait until it breaks and get someone else to do it. So yes, this is now belt time. We take the belts off, take the tensioner off, and then it's the pulley, which is the bit I'm dreading the most, so wish me luck with that one. So I'm not filming this, but if you want to watch a wet belt video, there are thousands of them online. I think I've watched a good share of them, so I just want to make sure I do it right, because I've not done this. I've done a cam belt in a Mark 5 twice, changed a high pressure pump in a Mark 5 twice, so yeah, I've never touched a chain in a Mark 7, so I've not really done anything like this since my old Mark 5 Smiley Transit, which I had centuries ago. So yeah, so we're getting there. Like I say, this one does have AC, so it's got the pulley at the bottom. That's the AC compressor. I'm hoping it's all right. I've taped it all up when I got it. We'll see. I'm not gonna. Yeah, if it holds that gas, we'll take it to Richard's. Yeah, well, he's not going to be happy with me if you're watching this, Rich, because I've got a feeling it probably takes the new gas, doesn't it? We'll find out. Right, I'll bring you back in when there's something more interesting happening, like getting a pulley off. Wish me luck. Right, not going to lie, that sucked. Getting that off there was horrible if you don't have all these fancy tools. I had this thing here, which is this, which I bought to pull off a wheel bearing on the back of my blue camper van, which is a Mark 7. It's clearly not designed for this, because I had to use, because the bolt in the middle doesn't go deep enough to push it off, so I improvised and used a socket. It didn't do any damage to it, but put that inside in there, and then to finish off just pushing it out, I just used this knackered old, which just pushed it home the rest of the way to get it off. It's gnarled up that a little bit, but it's only a cheap puller, but it's not looking too great here though. It's a bit rusty, and every time I've seen videos where there's this much rust, the pulley gets written off. But again, you know, it looks alright in there, I suppose, but I guess we'll find out, eh? I'll try and clear that up best I can without damaging it with some fine emery paper. The only thing I've not done is drop the oil. I wonder if I was supposed to do that beforehand. So I think before I go any further, I won't drop the oil. I completely forgot. But anyway, it's off. So the next game now is getting this cover off. Apparently, sometimes they come off, and sometimes they don't. No, in my luck, it'll be the latter. It won't, because that was a pain to get off. Torquing that up with all those weird torque settings is going to be really interesting. But yeah, I had to use the bar yet again to hold it while I was doing it, so I'm going to leave that off until I'm done. So far, this has not been an enjoyable job, but then, you know what, this is the job I've dreaded the most on the whole thing. Everything else, gearbox, all this other stuff, it's not bothered me in the slightest, but this is just... But, hey, if I do it, it's just my time, isn't it? So far, it's taken me... What time are we on now? Oh, look at my wrist, I don't have a watch anymore. It is 3:30, and I started at 1:30, so I'm this far, but I haven't had half a van to strip off to get to it. I'm fully aware of that, and I've never done it before as well. So right, I will crack on. Yeah, I'm guessing, yeah, drop the oil out of it next. That'll be interesting, because I think I've put the jack in the way of the oil drain. So and let's say the engine's been propped up by this high quality out of kilter thing here. So right, oil out. Here we go. Right, big news, it's off. There we go. Now, I've watched enough videos about these things to know that this one looked pretty damn good, but you can be the judge, folks, if you've got more experience with these. So you need to have a bit of a work out how that timing, the bottom one comes off. I think it slots off in the bottom, doesn't it? So I'll have to take the sump off for that. But that's not going to stop me doing the top, doing this main belt here. So this is the culprit. This is the wet belt here, which runs in, well, it has oil, presumably comes out of some channels up here and just pisses out all over the belt as it's running and the engine runs. Obviously oil gets pushed around the engine to lubricate it. You see there's bits of oil in there. That's the guide. I believe that comes in the kit along with the belt. So there's timing marks on here. I bought a little timing kit which attaches to the bottom sprocket, or the bottom guide, the bottom, yeah, sprocket I suppose it's called, isn't it? And then there's little holes in there. I'll bring on the side, see little holes, timing marks. So I've got to rotate it until the timing pins go in, and then the clamp fits on the bottom one, then the timing's in. Then we'll loosen that off. Right, I believe it's ritualistic to look at the wet belt when you take it off, but you know what, I don't actually think this is that bad. I mean, it's still got the markings visible on it. No idea if any of this is like a date code. 2021, I'm guessing that's when it was put on, when the van was new. Like I say, 27k. I'd say if that was correct, then that is about right. But if I just grab a piece of it there and then there's not splitting, then the inside of it again, you know, it's really good. But again, I'm changing it because it's peace of mind for me. You know, I want to do this for a good couple of years now. So that's the new one. Again, it's genuine Ford one. Yeah, that must be the date code 26052. And then what we'll just say that one was 21153. Whatever that is, whether that's date code, I don't know. You have to correct me. People know. Let me know. So I'm going to go ahead and fit this now. It's timed. So I'm going to put the guide on. Again, that's the old guide there. Put this on. I've got to believe it needs to be torqued to a specific setting, so I'll go and get the torque wrench out and get that torqued up in there. I'll join you when it's back on. Welcome to continued fun. Just gets better. It's never going to be an easy job. That's why I was not looking forward to this one. Sorry it's sideways. I'm sideways, but now you can be sideways. Sump was a pain in the ass to get off. Maybe it's normal for it to be a pain, I don't know. I'm not a mechanic, like I keep saying. I'm just somebody who's fairly practical and will have a go at things. And I'm a big believer, if you're practical or you're that way inclined, you can have a go at these things too, and it'll all be wonderful. Sorry, I'm just basically just cleaning my pry bar, coated in engine oil. Incidentally, it doesn't smell very nice. It smells very metally oily. If that even makes sense. Let me just turn on my ULAZ 100-year-old LED light. It's not very good, but will hopefully light the way so you can have a look. There's a little bit of oil left in there and I'll empty that in a minute. It's still dripping. I haven't sprayed anything on here yet, so there's the oil pump. So I need to move this cover, I believe, so I can get the little belt off that drives from the main cam. I need to swap that. There's no bits in there. I've just had a quick look that I can see. The oil strainers where everyone keeps finding bits of belt. I've not looked in there. Can you see in there? Is there anything in there? I don't know. I think I might just whip it off anyway. I haven't got a replacement one of them. I don't know how it comes off. There's some sort of weird pipe attached to it. And have a look myself. But I'm just going to give this a whole damn good spray with brake clean, get all the oil residue off it, because it'll just bring it all down. But yeah, I showed you the belt. The belt's on. Sorry, I got a bit distracted just cracking on with it. But yeah, the belt's on, but I've had to put the engine mount temporarily back on because of course I was propping it up underneath with blocks. But yeah, the new belt's on, the new tensioner's on. Yeah. Do you reckon they would have, anybody in the comments who knows anything about these old fleet vans would they have changed the timing belt on them? Would they have just left them until they got to the Ford, like what was it? What's their intervals? What, 50, 60,000 miles? Is it 70,000 miles? Or was it so many years? I had a caddy once, and that was a 12 plate, and that was what, 5 years, the belt on it or something like that. And then when I had it, it had only done what, 50,000 miles or something I've done when I bought it. But it was right on the year. I bought it a couple of years later that it needed the belt doing, so I had it done just as a security thing, really. But anyway, wobbling on again. So yeah, there's new tension. Incidentally, the guide, let me show you this. So I put the old stuff in here. This is quite interesting. You might have seen this if you're a regular wet belt changer of transits, but this made me wonder whether the belt had been changed and nobody had ever changed the guide. But well, this is maybe normal. But that's the guide. Can you see that line across it? I mean, that actually has worn a groove into that, and I can just feel it even with my gloves on. I can just feel the groove. See that shiny bit and then a non-shiny bit. It's just interesting. I thought that was worthy of note, and whether that's, I didn't inspect that one to see whether that had the groove on it as well, whether that just is belt. I mean, tell you the easiest way of doing it is to just offer the belt up and see if it's the same width as the belt. I bet you it is. Can't really tell, but yeah, it is actually the same width as a belt. Interesting. Whether they, do you reckon they would have just, I don't know, I think it's the original belt, but I could be wrong. There's experts out there, I'm not one of them, but I thought that was interesting. But as you say, the belt is not disintegrated, it's still, you know, would it been changed? Would when it went for its clutch, does it add, would it been changed? Is there a date code on this? I didn't think to look at that. Can't pick it up. Come on. Right. No, there isn't. There you are, look. 14th of January 2021. June. J-U-N, sorry. So yeah, it's never had a belt. So that kind of, yeah. For those of you at home, that's the part number. I did Google this, and I think it's about 100 and, I mean, I didn't phone Ford, maybe I should have done that, but online and stuff like that, they were looking around, they're about 150 to 160 quid for this cover. And I was like, that seems a lot of money for a pressed piece of metal, when the aftermarket ones are about 30 quid. You know, I'm guessing the failure point on them will probably mainly be the bearing seal, sorry, the main seal. But they're selling lots of these things to people, so you know, they must be alright. Right, I'm going to stop going on. I keep going on, don't I? I'm going to carry on. I'm going to go and clean up under there and put that little miniature belt on, which is that little belt there, which I've already started taking off. Look, you see it just nips down there. I've just got to whip that off as a new little belt, which I thought was in the kit, which is that little box. Where is it? Oh, it's stuff everywhere. It's in that little box there. Oh, that's not. Where is it? Where's it gone? It's in this box here. This is it. This is the magic belt. So you pop that on to replace the one that's on it. Joyous. Joy. Right, I've taken this off and cleaned it. I swear to you, I haven't done anything to it inside, but there is absolutely nothing inside there that you'd be worried about. Oh, God, yeah, I can see it, but the camera can't. Let's see if I can just get it up to the light, maybe. I don't know. Can you see in there? You can't see in it, can you? Bloody hell. Let's just see if I can shine a light in there. A little light that's under there. Just shine that in. Bear with me, bear with me. There you go. You can just see, trying to shine the light in. So it's just, sorry, I'm really sorry about this. Everyone seems to get really excited when they look into these things, including me. It's sad, but anyway. Oh yeah, you can kind of just see. Help if I shine the light through it. I shine the light through it. There you go. Oh, there you are. So there's little bits and, well, one or two little tiny bits of debris in there. I think that's just oil, not clogged up or anything. you know. Anyway, the camera's lens is too wide because it's like an action camera, but I'm looking in there and it's just oil that's stuck on the gauze, which is blocking one or two of the pins up. It's clean, very clean, which I'm really happy about, because that means that there's no bit of wet belt in there. It proves that the engine has got low mileage on it, I think anyway. I'd like to think that's 27k. It's definitely had the same belt on it. You've seen the condition of it. So I'm going to whip that thing back on, whip off the little guide to do that little belt, and then this can't go on because I had to muller it to get it off, get it cleaned up and get the replacement on, because I've got to go shopping this evening. Why do I have to go shopping? Anyway, there we go. Radio 2's playing some bangers on the radio, so I'm going to crank it back up and crack on, basically. That's what I'm going to do. Right, new sump is on. Let's have a look. Here you go. That's how exciting that is. So I didn't film putting the seal around the edge, but I mean, there's lots of videos that show how to do it. It's just this stuff. Comes with a kit. RTV, I think it's all the same, it's different brands. So the engine's jacked up on that. I've jacked it up on the corner, and I've used a strap because the engine wanted to tilt back, so I've strapped it back. So I've got as much of the crud off as very fine. I went around that with a blade, and that's literally fine left on there. I don't want to get any more off because it's starting to scrape the aluminium a bit, so I've just gone round it with brake clean and some blue cloth, loads of it down there, just to clean all the residue off, so it's all clean. Even though it doesn't look at it, it is clean now, apart from, like I say, but you can't feel it when you run that along, when you run your finger along. So I've seen people use like wire brushes and stuff, but I've done sumps, I think these rust away on these. I've done these loads of times. I've never had them leak. It's as long as you put enough sealant around, don't go berserk, like massively putting it around like huge globules of it, you'll be fine. So I'm going to prep this surface now on here. This is the replacement cover. Yeah, so I'm going to prep this. I'm going to look at the old one in a minute and just see where the oil goes on there. Look, so I'll just use this as a reference to go around for the new sealant on this one. So I'm going to brake clean that, get any oily residue off it, and then get that on there. I want to get that on there, and then I'm going to call it quits for today, and I'll put everything on there tomorrow morning, because as I said before, I've got to go shopping. Can't not go shopping. Right, I'll show you very quickly. That's what I've done. Put a bead round, not a very big bead because it doesn't need a lot, because don't forget it splattens out. You can see on here, see how it's spread out on there, and on here just put a little extra at certain places. So right, I'm going to offer it up. Some bits of twig found a way in there. It's probably come out my hair. Yeah, I'm going to offer it up to there now. Wish me luck. Sorry I can't put it on the tripod or anything because I just haven't thought this far ahead. Right, I'm going to crack up. Right, it is 7:45 at night, even though it doesn't look it, but it is summertime. 7:45 at night. I've got all the front back on that was on it. Well, the stuff that was with it. So all these pipes back on, the clips are on. The only thing I haven't noticed, it's not the end of the world, but this wire here, where my finger is down there, can you see it? Where my finger is there, it's clipped into the cover. There was a hole, but this one doesn't have it. So that's because I have to chill out back there. Pipes back on, whatever this weird thing is. All sort of tightened up. Getting that little water pump out was a nightmare. I have got a little like bracket that you put on the wheel, and the belt, it helps the belt slip on. That's at my old house and my old workshop. So I just went at it. It's so much nicer to put this belt on than a Mark 7 because you can get to the tensioner. You can stick a 14mm on there or whatever it is, or 15, and then pull the tensioner, put the belt on, dead easy. I've had to reuse the old belt because the kit didn't come with an aux belt. So I'll order one, but for the moment there's nothing wrong with that. That's about it really. I'm not going to put the covers on underneath there yet. I'm going to leave them off just under there for tonight, because obviously tomorrow I'm going to fill it with oil, and hopefully fingers crossed it doesn't leak. Yeah, they're talking that giant bolt up on that crank was all the weird torque settings on it. What's all that about? I don't know. And I had to hold the bar in the tuff of this flywheel to hold it whilst I was torquing it and then releasing it going backwards. So yes, not good fun. Anyway, yes, we're the fallout for today. I'm going to tidy up, put the spare wheel, just fit it on there. Well, just fit it on to stop water from getting in there. Because that was forecast rain tonight, so, and hopefully it's dry tomorrow. Had a bit of an accident with the oil there. But hopefully the landlord won't be too annoyed with me. But I'm going to fill my tub up with the last little bit out of the old sump now. Do that, then have a damn good tidy up. I'll do the service items tomorrow. I'm going to do the oil, and then if the coolant pipes arrive tomorrow, I hope they do. They said they were being dispatched today. I could do the coolant system, and I'd love to see if it holds liquids, because it's never had half the coolant system on it. Because I can't run it up to temperature without the coolant system on. And if I remember tomorrow, I'll bring my Ford scan software, because I don't have one of these fancy Autel things that everybody uses. I used to use IDS with these. Then the computer I had it on was just so old, it just didn't work. So I've moved over to Ford scan, which is just Ford software. It's like a third-party software. So anyway, yeah, you plug that in and see what's on there. My god, it's probably like every error, because there's loads of stuff missing off it, isn't there? Like sensors, all the radar stuff's all missing. You know, I don't, even when I plug it all back in, I don't even know whether that's going to solve a lot of it. But we'll see. You know, it ain't going to go for an MOT if I even get that far with warning lights on the dash. From my understanding is that's not good. So, but this is one big massive step further. The wet belt was the big thing I wanted to get done to it. As you saw, it probably didn't need doing. It looked really good condition, didn't it, to be fair? Along to go with 27,000 miles with no oil, no debris in it, no oil pickup. It was completely clean. These vans obviously had, I don't know, am I right in saying they probably had fairly recent oil changes, or did they keep to the Ford, you know, every million mile oil change? You know, I intend on doing this between every 5 and 10,000 miles. That's when I'm going to be doing oil changes on it, because these wet belts, I've watched enough videos now to understand that the people who do not thrash them around. I'm not a boy racer. I'm driving a van. You know, I don't intend to. That's why this thing's lasted so long, because I drive it carefully. You know, yes. So a lot more to do on it yet, but tomorrow hopefully oil, change the filters, service items, and I'll be able to start it tomorrow. Anyway, I've gone on enough. I'm going to pack away and I need to go shopping.